Villa after coaching Czechoslovakia in the World Cup. Venglos challenges the most successful manager in the league today. Liverpool's Kenny Dalglish, who leads the champions against last season's runners-up. Liverpool versus Aston Villa. Last season, the club captain, Alan Hansen, was presented with a flag to commemorate their winning the Barclays League title, their 6th championship win of the 1980s. Before we join the action at Anfield in front of a crowd of 38,000, let's catch up on what's been happening in the league since we were with you last week. Fronting Brian Clough's Nottingham Forest at Anfield. The champions had already won at Sheffield United last weekend, and they ran out winners against Forest. First to score was Ian Rush with this goal in the 52nd minute from a John Barnes pass. And then, 7 minutes from the final whistle, England's Peter Beardsley, recalled to the team after missing the opening match of the season, scored with this acutely angled shot to make the score 2-0. The win put Liverpool on top of the table with Arsenal, who were also unbeaten. Today, Liverpool showed 2 changes from the team which beat Forest. Steve Nicol, fit again after missing the Forest match through injury, returns at right back, and Gary Ablett stands in for David Burrows, who received an ankle injury during that midweek match. Barry Venison takes over from Ronnie Rosenthal on the bench. Aston Villa, who drew at home to Southampton last weekend and didn't play in midweek, strengthened their midfield by bringing in Kevin Gage in place of a forward, Ian Olney, who's relegated to substitute. You'll recognise David Platt of England and Paul McGrath and Tony Cascarino of Ireland from the World Cup. Let's join our match commentator in Liverpool, Martin Tyler.
Well, Aston Villa seeking to show that they can again mount a challenge in the First Division. Liverpool possess the blueprint for consistency. 6 titles in 9 years, runners-up on the other 3 occasions, all since Villa last landed the Championship in 1981. Gordon Cowan's played in that side. He also played in the last Villa team to win on this ground back in 1977. Steve Nicol. Tony Cascarino wearing number 11, which is something of a superstition for him. He was saying before the game he has never scored wearing number 9, which is most unusual when you consider the position that he plays in. The pitch, immaculate, like most things connected with Liverpool Football Club. Not quite, though, the cross from Nicol. But he has another chance, looking to free Beardsley. One of the first things, really, that Aston Villa have been trying to learn under the influence of Joe Venglos is to improve their work off the ball and their appreciation of filling in for each other to make their football less stereotyped, more fluent. But really, that's what Liverpool have always done. Liverpool in the end won the title from Aston Villa by 9 points. Villa just falling away in the latter weeks of the season, but they were majestic through the winter months. They had a spell of 15 wins in 18 games. But can they do it again? And they've left Beardsley onside to get the ball across. McGrath dealt with it and tries to exert a measure of calm. Daly, who is such an exciting player, past Liverpool en masse, and still he goes until he's bowled over by Gillespie. There wasn't a clear run on goal, Liverpool still had some vestige of cover remaining, which is why Gary Gillespie is not perhaps in quite as much danger as he could otherwise have been, given the amendment to the law this season. And it's merely a free kick, earned in thrilling fashion by Daly. This is Gray, and this is Grobbelaar. It was an expert free kick, matched by the quality of the handling by Liverpool's goalkeeper. Gage, Grobbelaar will come, Daly will get there, and did Grobbelaar get contact? Well, Keith Hackett, had he given a free kick then, might well have had to take a sterner situation with Grobbelaar, but he saw nothing wrong, and Daly seemed to have got the better of the Liverpool goalkeeper and couldn't turn it into either a goal or a problem for Bruce Grobbelaar. Now Whelan. McMahon's made a run ahead of him, helping to create the space that Houghton might use now. Rushes offside. Well, Bruce Grobbelaar came charging out then, and if he brought Daly down, the consequences might have been dire, but Keith Hackett said play on after that. Cascarino up above Ablett. It's been an opening 10 minutes in keeping with what you'd expect from the two sides that finished first and second in England's First Division last season. Bright and busy and creative. Cascarino climbed beautifully again. Platt coming from midfield. And he's adept at doing that to almost fulfill the two roles in one. Cowans. Well, that's the problem for Villa when Platt is definitely in the midfield pack as he was. There was no ball forward really with Cascarino well marked. As they try to choke the life out of Liverpool in midfield with this change in philosophy for this game. Ablett with the cross. McGrath always likely to master rush in the air. Whelan has the shot, Barnes is offside, and that doesn't count. Well, it was the line that the linesman was looking along, and he was perfectly placed to make the ruling. The flag went up straight away, long before Barnes put the ball past Nigel Spink. Gillespie just had to scurry there to prevent what would have been an unnecessarily conceded corner. McMahon looking to lift the tempo. Ablett. Beardsley looked questioningly at the referee. Liverpool still have the ball in any case. And Barnes trying to put that possession to good use. Ablett, no way past the body of Price. Oh, and Beardsley, it was a great ball by Ablett. And a great goal! Very much in the Liverpool manner. And it's come inside the opening 15 minutes, into feet by Ablett. And Beardsley's feet were twinkling here to make space for the shot. And to find the space beyond the dive of Spink. Aston Villa are behind. It's not just speed of movement that can hurt you at Anfield, it's the speed of thought as well. Well, Kenny Dalglish, for his own reasons, left out Peter Beardsley from Liverpool's first league game of the season. He brought him back on Tuesday night. He was a scorer then, but immediately substituted, though it was late in the game. And whether he particularly responds to the way the manager treats him, it seems that way, doesn't it? Because that was a goal from a player who looked as though he wanted to prove a point. Well, the foot was high from Whelan, but nothing dangerous. Ruled by a referee who loves the game to flow, and it's certainly doing that, mostly in one direction. Can Aston Villa have a corner? Mountfield and Cascarino, key figures around the penalty spot. It's Mountfield, and that was Platt. And there wasn't much Liverpool could do about it initially. Back from Gray. Grobbelaar comes. Cascarino beaten by the goalkeeper. McGrath trying to retrieve it. Gillespie, his first instincts, footballing ones, not to just hang the ball out of play. In the end, that's what he had to do as Mountfield closed in. That's the picture with 20 minutes remaining in the first half. Gage. Gray immediately moving to the left, but Gage using him as a decoy. Cowans. Gray involved eventually. Gage. It's nicely done for Platt. Gage loves to shoot from the edge of the area. And Grobbelaar had to use the full extent of his leap again. And the ball did go behind. It's a Villa corner. Kevin Gage struck that pretty well. I would suggest from the outside of the right foot it was veering inside the post. Grobbelaar flung himself away to palm it eventually behind. Nielsen. Platt! 1-1. Liverpool, not for the first time, undone by a set play. Well rehearsed. I'm sure Liverpool were well aware of the danger, but they couldn't stop it. Cowans with the corner. Nielsen helped it on. And the finish from last season's Players' Player of the Year, England's David Platt. How much will that rock Liverpool back? They had been dictating the tempo of the match. Rush! And it was surely a corner off McGrath. given. David Platt with 24 goals for Villa last season. 3 more in the World Cup. And his first of the new campaign for Aston Villa. For the moment, Cascarino's lost a boot. Time, though, to get the footwear right again, as Villa have a throw. Steered well by Cascarino. Daly had a look up. He spotted Gray, who's in space. One for Cascarino to attack. And Tony Cascarino, who incidentally celebrates his 28th birthday today, was telling me before the game that in his 2 previous visits here with Millwall, he's hit the underside of the crossbar at the Kop end and not scored. And he didn't even manage the frame of the goal with that attempt. Hussein. Houghton. Everyone but Cascarino behind the ball for Aston Villa. Gage. And the very fact that they were defending in numbers, making it difficult for the ball actually to be worked upfield. It fell kindly off Whelan for Cascarino, for lone forward. Daly. Cowans. Platt has joined Cascarino in the centre. Price coming in, and unmarked too, and a player who's only scored once in Aston Villa's colours, but a goal to remember, a winner at Arsenal last season. And allowed to push on from full-back by the system that Villa operate. Liverpool didn't pick him up, and they'll be annoyed about that. The first half, much of which was played in Aston Villa territory, but Liverpool with just the 1 goal to show for it. Beautifully executed by Peter Beardsley with the assistance of Gary Ablett. But Aston Villa always well-versed in set pieces under Graham Taylor. Looking the same under Joe Venglosh, with David Platt rounding off the corner kick routine. It's 1-1 after a top-notch first. Whatever happens in the second half here, or indeed over the rest of the season, Aston Villa do have the edge over Liverpool in one respect. They have been allowed back into European competition. And Liverpool hoping that their ban will be soon lifted. Cowans. Gray, here comes Grobbelaar. Whelan. Stayed ahead of Barnes. Houghton through the middle. Is he going to get the goal? Spink says no. Yet again, it was football of the highest order. And Ray Houghton couldn't steer it past Spink, who didn't panic. But Whelan's pass was so inviting. Cascarino. Platt. Well, it's worked out well for Aston Villa. It's just a piece of improvisation, really, by David Platt. But the back heel was in danger of bewildering Liverpool, in that it found Tony Daly unmarked. Cowans. Hussein just diverting it out off Platt. Beardsley battling with the bounce. And it was one of those that it was never quite serious enough for the referee to blow. Always looked as though it might end in a free kick. Houghton responded very pertly then. The second half really picking up where the first half left off. Liverpool making the running and making the chances from time to time. That's helped Spink save because of the deflection from Houghton's shot. But Aston Villa, although only sporadically, have just done enough in an attacking sense, as well as scoring, of course, to make Liverpool maintain their defensive discipline and not just come forward willy-nilly. Ablett. Barnes taking over from Beardsley. Price worrying, jockeying, and not stopping Barnes from shooting. Because when he thinks he might take you on with the left foot, Barnes has always got the other option of coming inside and blazing away with the right. How? You sense that this is a very important phase of this game. Liverpool working away again for an opening, and Rush almost able to find one then, as the three-man central defence for Aston Villa was somewhat sidetracked. But if Villa can withstand it, they might find a second win. They found a gallant run there from Price from deep, but he was offside. A wayward one from Gillespie. Daly. Four players around him, and one of them, Barnes, now can take it up again for Liverpool. McMahon. Whelan always reacting. And Nicol likewise. Oh, that flew across the face of the goal. A flick off friend or foe, and Liverpool could well have regained the lead. Nicol just planting it towards the far post. It actually touched off Gray, but not enough to suit Liverpool's purposes. McGrath again. Cascarino with a miscontrol, and those sometimes come more from tiredness at this stage of the game than from faulty technique. Gillespie. Some teams would be downhearted with the amount of possession they've had at not finding a way through. You won't expect Liverpool to come into that category. Nickel. McMahon. McGrath would have hoped to have let that run, but there wasn't enough pace on the ball. It was delivered too much for Beardsley's liking for that. McMahon. Cowan's coming out to try and prevent the shot. Well, the closeness there really encapsulating the way this game has gone. Liverpool in control, but not in the lead. McMahon kept that down and directed it very well indeed. Joe Venglosh leaning forward there, maybe new to English management, but he's been a follower of English football for many years and was a disciple of the great Bill Shankly in the 60s. Daly. Price with enough energy left to offer some attacking thoughts. Gage gets it in. Grobbelaar loses out to Cascarino. And he's frustrated again at Anfield in a Villa shirt, just as he was in his visits here with Millwall, when he got the better of Grobbelaar in each game he played and still didn't end up a scorer. There was cover behind the goalkeeper, to Liverpool's relief. Houghton. Away from Gray. Rush, Barnes and Beardsley. The three wearing red in the middle. Rush! Swung his right leg like a farmer with a scythe, but didn't cut down Aston Villa. Hussein. Villa's first priority to keep the ball in this half of the pitch. If they can do more with it, all well and good. This is Houghton. Aston Villa, although the fatigue will be setting against them, I'm sure be reminding themselves, Liverpool keep going right to the last. We must remember that, and Barnes does just... Well, this was far too close for Villa's comfort. And Chris Price will be justified in calling for some reinforcements at the moment, as Barnes takes him on. Hussein is down and not dismayed, because Liverpool have a free kick. Nicely timed, the overlap from Ablett. Barnes. Price first to him again, with as much strength as he can muster. Oh my word! What can you do about that? Absolutely nothing. Villa thought they were going to hold out, but they reckoned without the brilliance of Barnes inside the final 3 minutes. He'd made life a misery for Price as the half had developed, and that's the margin that you deal with at Anfield. The underside of the bar, it could have come out, it's gone in. The champions lead last season's most meaningful challengers by 2 goals to 1. Here's Platt. His goal condemned perhaps to simply a statistic instead of a share in the main story of the game. The headlines will belong to Barnes. John Barnes has won them the game. It's played 3, 1-3 for the defending champions, and it's given Joe Venglosh a typical initiation of bringing a visiting team to Anfield. Aston Villa having to defend for much of the game after David Platt had equalised the opening goal from Peter Beardsley, but Villa were edging towards a draw, which would have meant so much to them. For Liverpool, each victory is judged simply as that, but the down-to-earth management team here might privately take extra satisfaction in conquering last season's closest challengers, something they couldn't manage in their 2 league meetings during that season. It's a win for Liverpool today, though, by 2 goals to 1.
Tell us your memories of the goal.
Well, the fullback just showed me inside. You know, I'd been going outside him. Trying to go outside him through the course of the match, and didn't think it was possible this time because he had that angle covered. So I didn't even beat him really. I just pushed it to one side, and it's one of those shots, especially on my right foot, where it's either going to go in the top corner or in the stand. And fortunately for us, it went in the goal.
Not quite as simple as that, though, surely.
With my right foot concerned, it definitely is as simple as that.
Well, we've seen you do it before.
Yeah, well, I mean, you probably have seen, or you may not have seen, the other 50 attempts which have gone over the bar and in the stand and wide and for throw-ins. So, you know, if you keep shooting, I mean, 1 or 2 of them are bound to go in.
There's an England squad to be picked early next week. The scorers, Beardsley and Barnes. A little message to the New England manager?
Well, I mean, all we can do is play as best as we can, and you know, leave it up to the manager. You know, I mean, obviously it's a new manager, he may have new thoughts. So, you know, I look at this now, if I'm going to be in the squad, as my first cap kind of thing. You know, the 58 caps or how many other caps I got counts for nothing because it's a new manager, and if he feels that I'm not good enough for the squad or the team, then, you know, the 58 previous caps count for nothing. So I'm just hoping that I'll be in the squad.